I don't understand why a lot of us don't focus on ourselves one on one. And what I mean by focus on yourself is that you literally start worrying about you. You worry about your needs. You worry about your wants. You worry about the things that you need. You stop worrying about everybody else. Alright, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. Welcome to Team U Finance. On this channel, we talk about leveling up. We talk about self-growth. We also talk about different perspectives. And we also speak about letting and, building our money. We talk about growing our wealth. All right, so a lot of us have talents that we fail to nurture. We fail to let them grow. Now, the exact reason why we do that, I don't know. I don't have any idea. I've also been guilty of doing this, of not literally nourishing my own talents because I was focused on different things or focused on people and basically not worrying about myself. But later in my life, I realized that didn't benefit me no how, not to focus on me or my talents. So what I wanted to basically discuss is that you need to focus on you, focus on the things that you're good at. And once you focus and you double down on what you can do, you can basically start making your money. All right. The first thing that I would advise anybody to do if they're trying to grow their wealth is to start, trying to capitalize on something that they're talented at. So, for example, let's say every year, your family has an annual barbecue. They call you to make the potato salad. They always ask you to make your famous mac and cheese. They ask you to do the ribs. Whatever it is they ask you to do. For years, it's been you doing it. It's been you, getting it together. But yet, for some strange reason, although you're making that, that treat or that meal or that dish every year, you've never thought of using it to make some capital. Question is, I don't know why. Well, here's what you're going to probably have to do. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, I'm just doing it for the fun of it. It's a family barbecue. It's an annual event. I don't want to charge anybody. Now, I'm not saying that you should be charging people. You can't do anything out of the goodness of your heart. But you're so talented. And because you're so talented, you've proven it year and year after. Everybody's calling you and asking you, or they're calling and asking you to make that special dish that you make every year. Why not use that dish to start making some money? Okay? And you might not use that dish to make any money because maybe you don't think that it'll sell. Maybe you don't feel like it's going to grow enough. Maybe you don't feel like anybody's going to buy it. Whatever the case may be. But obviously, if you already have a fan base and everybody looks forward to that dish, I guarantee if you really start marketing that dish or marketing that you're a great cook and that you have a lot of talent, you will get customers. And I'll tell you something funny. Once you start marketing the food that you make or you start selling, you start cooking professionally, the people that called you every year and asked you to make those dishes or that dish, they're not going to support you. They're not going to buy it from you. They're not going to give you any type of recognition. Only time that they called you was when they wanted to get you to work for them for free. Now, on the flip side of that, it was great that they asked you to make that mac and cheese or that wonderful dish every year because that gave you enough practice to develop your talent. Now that you develop your talent with those same people, why not use it to make yourself a little bit of money? First thing you're going to do is you're going to start maybe, booking some events. You're going to start advertising, letting other people know about the great food that you make. You're going to start, building your social media accounts and so forth. And at the end of the day, if it takes off or when it takes off, you're going to officially register your business, right? Because at the end of the day, we still got to, pay our taxes on the money that we make. But before getting into that and doing all of that, you first need to focus on the talent that you have. You need to nurture, okay? You need to nurture your talents and stop wasting your time giving away your labor for free. Because at the end of the day, yes, we do things out of the goodness of our hearts. But if we have been blessed to have a talent that can be exercised, why not utilize it? Now, it doesn't matter what you do. And I'm not going to tell you in this video that you have to cook all day for someone. No, you don't have to cook. Whatever it is you're good at. If you're good at, working on the computers, all right, maybe, people need you, or offices or buildings need you to come and service their computers for them. Why not do it? Put that talent into a developing business where you can make a little change with it on the side. And the best part about it is that you enjoy doing what you're doing, right? This is how we nurture, and this is how we grow. We nurture and grow, and that way we can use our talents to make money. Now, sometimes when we want to embark on different things, a lot of us are scared to, get new training. But in a case like this, you have to basically retrain. You got to get your mind right. So, for example, again, if you are a person that's maybe in the tech industry, with the booming of AI right now, there's a lot of things that have changed technologically. But it doesn't mean because there's change, because basically the world has changed. It doesn't mean because there's change that you can't grow. So in other words, in order for you to embellish on your talents and, focus on what you can do, you probably have to retrain. You have to retrain. You have to go get new certifications. You have to do different things because remember, you want to keep yourself in the game. You want to be marketable. If you're not doing those things, you're going to get left behind. And this is where the frustration is going to come eventually. You're going to get frustrated and say, you know what, there's no need for me anymore. There's no use. And this is why everybody has to have some type of side hustle. Okay? Whatever side hustle you have, whatever talent that you have, whatever you're good at, you need to start letting it work for you. Let it grow. Develop it into a little business where you can start making some money. Right? Now, the next thing that we also need to do, we need to focus on just growth, period. And how do we focus on growth? We basically double down on the things that we're good at. We take the time to nourish the things that we're good at. And I guarantee, listen, when you start focusing and doubling down on what you're good at, you're not going to get any support from family or friends. You're going to have to go out there. You're going to have to market your talent. You're going to have to market your product. Whatever it is that you're developing, you're going to have to get it elsewhere. Trust me, when that success comes, those same family and friends, they will start supporting you at that point. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting advice from anyone. There's nothing wrong in letting, close family and friends know what you're doing. But I would advise anybody, whatever you're doing, don't spend all that time focusing on them for validation. You don't need a sea of approval from family and friends to nourish your talent and to grow. And hence, this is what it comes down to. Focus on yourself. Focus on things that you need to do to get better. When you're trying to focus on you, network. Start talking to people or go to places or go to events that have tools that you could use to grow your business or to grow your endeavors. Because again, it goes back to the old adage, people don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you grow, especially if they're not growing. So because they're not growing, you shouldn't grow. Now, we're not going to sit and have that in the back of our minds about who's in our corner, who's not in our corner. We don't need to do that. But what we're going to do essentially is we're going to stop wasting our time, stop looking for validation from people that are not even focused on their own lives and their own problems. This is where you're going to get your stuff together and get your life together. Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Finance, where we focus on building wealth. We talk about leveling up, and we also focus on perspectives and things that could make our money grow for us. I also want to add that many times, when we have a certain talent, I think what it is, like, we were afraid. We were afraid of getting it out there. We were afraid maybe, that if you try to do something that it was going to be rejected, or we didn't have enough confidence in ourselves. And let me tell you something. The first thing in growing anything or letting anything grow is to have confidence. You got to have some type of self-confidence. Once you have self-confidence, you know exactly who you are. You know what you're focused on. You know what you can do. There's no turning back at that point. All of these people that you see have money. Goes back to, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, all those people that made their money. They didn't just get up one day and were instant millionaires. They had a lot of stumbling blocks. They had to start over. A lot of their ideas got tossed out. A lot of these people invested money into fly-by-night projects that didn't work. But the point is that they literally came back and they got retrained and they started over again. And that was the beginning of them, getting their talents out there, because they got rid of all the distractions and they started focusing on themselves. And this is exactly what we need to do. So again, we have to double down. basically look at our talents. Once we double down and look at our talents, what we're good at, we have to basically exercise those talents, start growing them, start networking, start marketing. And I guarantee that you're going to have success and you're going to have results. But the first focus that you need to look at, or the first thing that you need, or the first person to focus on is you. Because if you're not focused on you, nobody else is going to focus on you. All right? With that said, I have an ebook that I wrote. It's called 10 Steps to Level Up Your Money. The link is in the description if you get a moment. It's a nice, easy read. These are some of the things that I did and is currently still doing to grow, my finances. After focusing myself, this is one of the few things that I did. And it's a broad range of talking about like 10 different things that you can do to kind of get your money in line or get your money in place. Now, again, the ball's in your court. It's basically what you want to do to get your money going. All right? So with that said, as I said, people, focus on you. Double down on your talent. Make your money work for you. Don't waste your time getting validation from people or approval from people that have no idea or no interest in you. Because again, they're not even interested in their own selves. So if they're not interested in themselves, why are they going to be interested in you? Worry about you. Focus on you. And I guarantee once you start focusing on you and worrying about you, your needs and your wants first, trust me, life is going to get better. It's going to get different. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. With that said, beautiful people, if you got this far in my message, I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.